G'day guys! So today I wanted to talk to you about my Ruckus. So this is the Ruckus. It's made by SkyrisUK. Can we see it there? It's just a lovely little sports model, and if I'm honest, it's probably one of the most popular models that you're going to find out there. Well, certainly in the foam guys, because you know, certainly in the UK most people seem to have a Ruckus, and you go into any model shop, they've got them. And well, there's a good reason. Quite simply, they fly great. They really do. They're very predictable, they're easy. They're almost kind of like a slightly more modern replacement for maybe an Acrowatt or a Watt 4. But yeah, in my case, I have the Pro Build Ruckus, and I've gone through a few little kind of, well, I can only call it changes and tweaks and mods, because as good as the model is in the Pro Build version, there are a couple of little niggles. Now, to start with, I actually started my Ruckus. Let me turn myself around so you can see the plane. So my Ruckus started its life as a petrol model. In fact, it is still actually a petrol model. It's running an NGH 9cc in that, but in the next couple of days it's destined to be converted to glow. And more on that a little bit later. But you know, it's essentially, with the 9cc petrol, flies incredibly well. Lots of power, but a little bit noisy. And you know, this is a problem I've discovered with the petrol engines. Essentially, in order to get the thing to have enough power, you need a small enough prop. So in the 9cc's case, you're going to need something like a 10-inch prop, and you'll clock all the way up to 14,000 RPM, unlimited vertical, you can do it all. But you then say, okay, well, it's making a bloody racket, and it really is. So the next step is you say, okay, well, I'll put a bigger prop on, but petrol just at that scale doesn't swing the prop. So you quieten it down, but you lose the power. So the long and short of it is that I'm converting it. I've got a little conversion kit from Just Engines, and essentially for 20 odd quid, well, it was thereabouts, might have been 30, somewhere about that. It essentially is an alternative carburetor, tiny little bit of work, and it will be converted to glow, which, you know, for better or worse, it will be quiet enough to fly at the club with no problem. Now, about the Ruckus build. There is actually only one fault I have found on the entire Ruckus build. I'm just going to swing the camera around and I'll show you this here. So, ooh, can we get that around? There we go. Okay, so taking a look at the Ruckus, you'll notice first off that the landing gear on the Pro Build sweeps back like that. And the actual anchor point where it joins on down here, you know, it's a little bit lacking. It leaves a little bit to be desired. You know, it's just not strong enough. And a lot of people have suggested reinforcing this. But I came up with another idea. Essentially, inside the plane, just over here, is a bulkhead. So really, a bit of threaded rod, a couple of ball links, I put this brace in. And where I was effectively folding that gear back and breaking it every other landing, you know, and it's just, I don't think it's a matter of flying skills being wrong. I think it's more that you hit some rough ground and the brace, the lever arm just pulls off. So pop that on. I haven't had it fold once. You know, there is, you know, if I'm brutally honest, we can see over here there's a slight flex in this rod that can just be straightened out, and that's just from, you know, where I've run off the end of the runway into the long grass. But yeah, it's quite nice. You probably noticed too on this one that I had a couple of dings and such in my cowling here, and that's not actually dings. It's got to do with me changing engines around so many times trying to get a better combo that I did a massive repair job on here, and I kind of got a bit bored of sanding it, so rough it is. Now, in terms of my build on this, because I'm sure some of you would want to see what I've done, let me try to take this off with one hand. Can I do it? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I can. There we go, got it. So, very, very straightforward here. And as I said, this is still running the petrol conversion. I've got a tiny little 6-ounce tank over here. We have the ignition system over here. Lots of wires, you know, 2 on-off switches, and some servos, and it all balances out quite nicely. In fact, if anything, if I'm honest, I'm slightly nose heavy from my point of view, and I've had to put bag loads of weight over here to bring the CG back to where I wanted it. But I do tend to also fly with quite a rearward CG. So, you know, whether that's good, bad, I don't know, but either way, I find it flies better with it slightly rearward. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm kind of, over the next week, going to be changing this into a glow engine version, which the good opportunity for me to actually do another video, which will follow up showing how the 9cc NGH has been converted, because it really is pretty straightforward. So I'll kind of do a little video showing exactly how that goes on. But yeah, it's cool. It's a very, very nice model. I'd highly recommend it. You know, if you're a sport flyer, it's going to do just about everything you as a sports flyer want. Just kind of make sure that you reinforce that landing gear. You're going to like it. It's a great model. And in fact, I would rate it far, far superior to the foam version. You know, the foam version's great and comes, you know, I guess what it comes down to, you know, with the foam version, you're paying about £180, I think it is, and that's ready to fly, or almost ready to fly. You plug a receiver in and off you go. But the Pro Build version, you've got to do a little bit more work. You've got to go buy your own servos. You've got to do those. So you're probably going to spend 250, and then you could probably end up in the region of 300 for the Pro Build, I suppose. But it's kind of worth it because it does fly a lot better. It just, I think the extra mass on the model really makes a difference, and it flies so much faster, so much smoother than the foam one. So I'm a big fan of the Pro Build. It's well put together. Yeah, there you go, guys. The Ruckus. I would highly recommend it. Drop past your shop, have a look at them. They're quite good. Cheers, enjoy.